This is the circle of fifths. The first thing we'd like to do to fill out this circle really quickly so we can use the information and manipulate it and answer any questions you may have about key sigs, scales, everything that we'll be covering in Chapter 2. The first thing is to write out the order of flats. So let's do that over here. And the mnemonic device that you're going to memorize is basically, you spell the word bead, greatest common factor. So here we go. B-E-A-D, greatest common factor. So, as we read from left to right, this is the order of flats. So B flat is first, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, C flat, and F flat. This is the order, so B will always be first. If there is only one flat in a key, it has to be the B flat. If I would have a key that involves C flat, then that means that key or major scale is going to have 6 flats total. Okay. Reading from right to left is the order of sharps. Now, a lot of you already have mnemonic devices to memorize the sharps, whether that be the Father Charles or the Fat Cats. But if you could just memorize one thing, the BEAD, greatest common factor, then you've got the order of sharps in the reverse direction. All right, that's the first order of business. The second order of business is fill in your bookends. We talked about this in class, but basically the C's. The tonic C. Okay? Tonic C, or keys or scales that start with C, have all or nothing. This is to say that C major has no sharps or flats. It's the most neutral. And this sits at that 12 o'clock hour. Okay. C sharp has all 7 sharps. So that's going to sit at 7 o'clock. C flat has all 7 flats. And that's going to sit at 7 o'clock on the flat side, which is counterclockwise. All right, so let's go ahead and fill that in now. C is the most neutral. It goes on the top, and I'm going to do this. C sharp has all the sharps, so I'm going to go, this is the sharp side, this is the flat side. I'm going to go on the sharp side and go 7 o'clock. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. C sharp sits at the 7 o'clock hour. Since it's at 7 o'clock, that's going to help me memorize that C sharp has all 7 sharps. C flat, 7 o'clock, going counterclockwise on the flat side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. C flat should be here. Okay. Those are my bookends. Now from there, I'm going to I'm just going to fill in enharmonics of keys that I already have written out. From step 2. Okay. Going to take a lot of guesswork out. So another name for C sharp is D flat. So this is to say that D flat should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flats. Okay? And we'll see if it does later. Another name for C flat is B. And having it sit here at the 5 o'clock hour on the sharp side, this is to say that B major has 5 sharps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that should have 5 sharps. Okay, I already have 5 keys filled in just using 2 steps. All right, going on. The next step would be to fill in the sharp keys using the musical alphabet, ascending 5 notes, letters, not even notes. Don't even want you thinking about anything musical, just letters, the alphabet. Okay, so let's go. C, D, E, F, G. Great. G, A, B, C, D. D, E, F, G, A. A, B, C, D, E. E, F, G, A, B. Okay, so this work that we did prior is helping me check that I'm doing it correct. B, in fact, has 5 sharps. All right, let's keep going. B, C, D, E, F. This is the one I need you to memorize, that there's a sharp attached to this F, because if you write plain F, it'll be wrong. And then there's another way to check yourself as well. So this is to say that F sharp has 6 sharps. Now, since we're here, we're going to go ahead and write the enharmonic for F sharp. Another name for F sharp is G flat. Okay, let's see if that works out. This is saying that G flat has 6 flats because it's sitting at the 6 o'clock hour. So we'll see if that holds true. All right. The next step is to fill in the flat keys. Okay, the first one is the flat key that sits at the 1 o'clock hour counterclockwise, meaning it has 1 flat. You descend 5 letters using the alphabet. Okay, so let's do that. So we've got C, B, A, G, F. Great. After that first initial key is written in, then 2 o'clock on, it's the order of flats. That's the names of those keys. So that first chart that I wrote up, my first thing, my first step, I'm just going to go and write it in. B. Then E. A is next. Great. The rest is already filled in, but I'm just going to go through and double check. Okay, so B, E, A, D flat. Great. G flat already here, and C flat, and I've already filled out my circle. Okay, so what do we do with all this information? I know I'm calling this a circle of fifths. The original idea is that these keys, or these big letters, are a fifth apart. I don't want you thinking about how far apart that is, or going to count on a keyboard how far apart that is. By simply using the steps written here that we've gone through, you should be able to write out the circle as quick as we did, actually quicker. Now, how do we use this information? Basically, this clock, as we go down clockwise, 1 o'clock, sitting at the 1 o'clock hour, is G major, meaning G major has 1 sharp. D major has 2 sharps, 3 sharps here, and so forth, and so forth. On the flat side, it's the same. We're just going the opposite direction. So here we have 1 flat in the key of F major, 2 flats, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so let's just go through and manipulate or realize some of these keys. I'm going to go over here. So with a minimal amount of information memorized, we committed to this circle, and this is how we use this information. Let's take our old trusty, let's go with B, because there's room here. Okay, so you're like, okay, I did my circle. What do I do with this information? Okay, so it's sitting at the 5 o'clock hour, so that means it should have 5 sharps. Okay, the names of those sharps are the first 5 in the order. You have to go in this order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the sharps. Those are the letters that need to be sharp to make it a major scale. So I'm going to write these down for me, just for this exercise right now. Oops, too many. Okay, that is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so B is like the last name of the family, B major. And the members of the B major family are the 7-note scale. So we're just going to go through and write in B, C, D. We're using the alphabet, just that. Those are the family members. But some of these family members are sharp, so I need to go through. The first one was F, so I'm just going to make that change here. Then it was C. Then G. Then D. And then A. And that is the B major scale. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a representative from the flat side. So, looking on the flat side, let's go over here. Sitting at the 1, 2, 3 o'clock hour is E flat major. E flat major. So 3 flats, their names of those flats going in the order is B, E, and A. So this is to say that E flat major, the key and the scale, has all white keys except for these 3. So when I write out my E flat major scale, just put my letters in. Now when I go back, I just need to make sure that I add those accidentals. So the first accidental was a B. Great. And then it was E. Oh, it's already the key. And then A. There we go. Let me write that out again. E flat, F, G, A, B, C, D. The order of flats is B, E, already there, and then A was my last one. And then I'm done. That takes the guesswork out of thinking about the keyboard and just using the information with the least amount memorized and understanding more of the relationships. So there's no official homework that's due other than trying to follow these steps to enable to write out the circle with all the keys and in the order of flats. And then to take it a step further, go ahead and write out each major scale based on the information that the circle is implying, without having to look at any other outside source than everything that we've written here on this page. And this is the circle of fifths for major scales. Our next step after this will be to go inside of the circle and look for the relative minor keys and scales because they share the same key signature.